Welcome to your practice. Today is going to be a Budokon Yoga flow. And Budokon Yoga, if you don't know, is a style of yoga that builds bridges between yoga and martial arts. Now, you don't need to know anything about martial arts, it's fine, but there are movements of martial arts included with elements of yoga, elements of calisthenics, and elements of animal locomotion. But don't worry about the animal locomotion, we won't do that today. So this is not an intro to Budokon Yoga flow, but you're welcome to try and see what that feels like in your body. Just pay attention to the cues. Oh, this is a very precise style, right? So the way we start is in that kneeling position of Seiza. But you're welcome to come into any other seated position if you feel that this isn't the right one for you. And you can close your eyes and take a moment. Take a moment here, noticing sensations in your body, noticing your breath, the thoughts that are coming up for you. As I've just explained to you what we are going to do, especially if this is something that you've never tried before. Noticing the inner tug of war between your warrior side, the side and the spirit that is all about action or about change, and the yogi side, the yogi spirit, the one that is the peacemaker, the one that knows when to let go, or more like where to not direct too much energy and waste it. So we are going to bring those two sides, those two spirits together as we are working today on buoyancy and balance. So let's salute. First, the martial arts way, you can bring your right hand, then your left on the floor or on the mat in front of you and bow to the warrior within. Us. Coming up. You can bring your hands either to your heart or third eye center, honoring this time the yogi within. Namaste. And you can release, and let's dive right into it. So from your seated form, bring your right hand, left hand on the floor. You can open your knees hip distance, finding a strong full contact base position here. 4-point contact base. Then from here, extend your right leg. Extend your left leg, coming into plank. Tuck your chin in, push the floor away as you feel your shoulder blades protracting and moving away from each other. That's the Budokon Cobra Hood. Now keep pressing and let the movement ripple all the way into full extension of your spine, into downward facing dog. And once you reach your highest point with your hips, drop your heels, even if they don't touch the floor. And you're welcome to add a moment here. Maybe bending one knee, then the other. Yeah. And then bring your feet together. Right leg extends behind you. Now, your foot is demi-pointed, meaning that instead of pointing your toes, you're pointing your foot, but you bring your toes back towards your knees. So demi-pointed, matching you're wearing a stiletto here. Then right heel to right sit bone, rise on ball of left foot, keep your chin towards your chest, keep the Cobra Hood, a lot of space between your body and the mat. As you bring your right knee towards the midline, shoulders over wrists, and then step your right foot outside of your right hand. Slow. Now lean into your hands and feet, bring your left knee to your right elbow, left heel to the floor, outside of your left hand, whole foot to the floor, drop your hips, lift your chest. Now, this is not a complete resting shape here. You want to have an active squat. Press the floor away, gaze forward, and keep the length in your spine as you bring your hands to the floor, and then push the floor away to lift your hips, and then heel to toe your feet together. So rocking on your toes, then on your heels, as your feet are coming closer. Knees bent, 3 halfway lifts here with the, again, signature waving motion of Budokon. So, suction low belly in. And halfway lift until you find that full extension again in your spine, and then lower. And again. Then one more like this. And then push down to lift, keeping your knees bent, suction low belly, roll up one vertebra at a time. Make sure you're breathing through the whole motion. Then once you reach the top, reach your arms up. Adding a little back bend here, however you like. I like to open my forearms back. And then keep the length in your spine, open your arms to the sides and swan dive over your legs. And then from here, back into your forward bend, knees bent, hands to the floor. And again, one more time, extend right leg, left leg, chin to chest, cobra hood, back into your downward facing dog. Feet together, reach your right leg up, again, demi-point your foot, hips neutral, right heel, right sit bone, rise on ball of left foot, roll forward, same as you did, but this time, and take your time to get there. You're going to step your right foot between your hands, but before you do that, hug that knee towards your chest, find the cobra hood, find the space to place your right foot to the floor. From here, left hand stays on the floor, right hand makes a fist. We are setting up for archer. Now archer, you want to prepare your bow here. So, draw your right fist to your right shoulder, right elbow pointing up, and find the twist here. Right shoulder stacks over left. Gaze forward, bend back knee, let it hover above the floor as you rise into archer. Now you're super low, left arm extends into a fist. From archer, your bow becomes a blade. 2 blades actually. So open your hands, slide your right hand forward as you circle your left arm back. Try and stay low as you pivot on the back foot, open into warrior 2, right palm up. Now from warrior 2, here comes the double block. So shuffle on your feet, coming into a horse stance position. You're still low. Right arm up, left arm down. That left foot is going to stay as is, but turn your right heel towards the front of your mat. As you bend your elbows, left elbow tilting up, and then once that right heel reaches the floor, blade edge of your foot parallel to the front of the mat, now you open your arms. Right hand down, left hand up. That's the double blocks. You're flexing your hands, and you're still gazing towards the same direction. Your opponent is still there. Now from here, right hand, right waist. Shuffle on your feet back into horse stance. Stay low as you find your warrior 2 again. And from warrior 2, extend. Reach that right hand forward. Hips are stacked. And once you feel your edge, right hand to the floor. Big circle with the left arm. Left hand to the floor. Chamber right knee. Extend right leg. 3-legged down dog. Recalibrate your hips. Right foot to the floor. Feet together, same thing, second side. Left leg extends with your breath. Demi-point, hips neutral. Left heel, left sit bone, rise on ball of right foot, rolling lunge. Step left foot and prepare. Left hand makes a fist. Left hand pulls towards your shoulder. Left elbow pointing up. And again, shoulder twisting. Bend back, knee gaze forward, and rise. Archer, archer open, warrior 2. Warrior 2 to your double block. Now this time, as you tilt your elbows, right elbow is pointing up, left heel travels, double block. Left hand, left waist. Shuffle on your feet, back into warrior. Left hand to the floor. Big circle with the right hand to the floor, chamber left knee, extend, feet to the floor. Now first rolling wave. What we're going to do now is the rolling wave. From your dog,
Lift your heels. Bring your pubic bone towards your navel, navel to spine, chin to chest, and very slowly begin to wave forward. Shoulders come on top of wrist, your back is still rounding. Stay on your toes as you drop your hips towards the floor, pelvis slightly angled towards your wrists. Keep pushing the floor away as you roll up through your spine, coming into floating up dog. Still on your toes there. Chin to chest, push floor away, big cobra hood press, roll back, downward facing dog. Right, now let's add a little bit to this. Feet together. Right leg extends, demi-point hips neutral. Get long. Right heel, right sit bone. Rise on ball of left foot. Rolling lunge. Step. Right hand makes a fist. Right hand, right shoulder. Right elbow pointing up, shoulder stacked. Bend back, knee gaze forward. Left arm extends, archer. Feel the push and pull here. Big and buoyant and balanced. Open, warrior two. Now, this time, warrior two again. Double block, shuffle on your feet with grace and style. Open arms. Low block with the right hand, high block with the left hand. Now, this time, lean onto that left leg. Lean, lean, lean. And toes are diagonal, not out. Otherwise, you won't have the space to go back. You want your hips to go back here. So left toes are still facing the corner of your mat. You're still in your double block. From here, now you're loading. Right toes lift. And you can use your hands at any time. Otherwise, hands forward and lower into your half squat through drop stance. Now from here, your right hand will continue the motion and base behind your right hip or in line with your right hip. You will turn on the right blade out of your right foot and then big circle with the left arm. Lift your hips, but not up. Gaze to the side. It's a side plank variation. Warrior's bridge. Lower. Now, from this warrior's bridge, you want to come up. So big circle with the left arm, with the torso to lift as you push into that right hand so you can bring your right foot to the floor. Right hand to waist, shuffle back on your feet and reach. Now you're welcome to stay here if you like. Again, lower that front foot, come up. I'm touching the wall, so I'm not going to cheat. But then turn your right arm down, left arm up into half moon. Get big, get buoyant here. Feel the balance. You're welcome to bring your right hand to the floor, otherwise try to keep balancing on that right foot. Now, turn your left toes down, so you're pointing both hip points to the floor. And slowly bend both knees. Hug your left knee behind your right knee. Again, you're welcome to use your hands, otherwise let your left foot come down, knee, and then hips to the floor as you come into a seated twist and continue the movement. Right hand behind you, left arm wraps right knee or left elbow behind right knee. Now, Budokon is always in motion, but you're welcome to pause here and take a moment in your seated twist. Otherwise, come forward and with or without your hands, shift into your right foot, plant your hands, extend your left leg behind you so you come into a lunge. From that lunge, push floor away, right heel, right sit bone, extend, right leg goes up. And again, foot to the floor. Same thing, second side. With your breath, left leg goes up. Falling, rising, rolling. Step, prepare for archer. Left hand makes a fist. Hand to shoulder. Bend back knee. Push down to lift into archer. Feel the push and pull in your arms here. From archer, open, warrior two, slow and control. Try and stay low. Warrior two, double block. Now, Load into that right foot. Drop stance, lift your left toes. Come down into your half squat. Left hand bases, warrior's bridge. You're on the outside edge of your left foot. Facing the side, come down, guard your face with your right hand. Then big suck with your right hand as you push down into that left. Go drop stance and let's shuffle back. Left hand, left waist, reach. And again, you can stay here. If you feel this is too much, you can keep both feet on the floor. Otherwise, flying warrior into half moon. From your half moon, turn your right hip point down. Bend both knees, hug your left knee behind your right knee. Slowly come down. Left foot to the floor. Right foot to the floor, sorry. Right knee to the floor, all the way to your seated twist. And keep the movement going. Completing Ardha Matsyendrasana. You can take a couple breaths here, or let's keep moving. Almost there. Now again, use your right arm, shift into your left foot. Come into that narrow lunge. Extend right leg behind you. Chamber left knee. Three-legged down dog. Demi-point, hips neutral, recalibrate. Left foot to the floor. Knees to the floor. And take a moment in child's pose. Good, and you can roll up on your heels. Now, options. So if you like, you can lean to one side, swing your legs around. You can also cross your ankles, roll on your ankles. But the actual Budokon transition would be to press the floor away. You're welcome to add blocks if you need to. Press the floor away so you can lift your knees and sit through with your ankles crossed. Whereas I did this very low here. And then shuffle on your mat, knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor, and come down. And here, a couple of bridges in and out of the shape. So an option here is as you lift your hips, you reach your arms over your head, let the back of your hands touch, and then come back down. And a few more like this. Again, even here, you're balancing on your upper back, on your feet. You're getting big, you're getting buoyant. Good, and you can come down. Take a moment here with your feet on the floor. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then hug your knees in to your chest. And then feet to the floor. Feet together, knees wide. And to find that buoyancy again here, you can bring your arms overhead and grab your elbows. If this doesn't work for you, you can bring your feet on the edges of your mat, let your knees together. Couple breaths here. If you have a bit more time, you're welcome to pause the video and take a moment for Shavasana. Otherwise, knees together, hug your knees to your chest, roll to your right side, come up, and find your way back into your seated form of choice, if you can, Seiza, or any other seated form. And again, a moment here. A moment to observe, a moment to reflect. What's going on through your body, your breath, your mind. And again, let's bow. Right hand, left hand on the floor. Bow to the warrior within. Come up. Hands together in prayer, third eye center, if you prefer, to your heart, and bow to the yogi within. And you can release. Thank you, and see you soon.